What's going on, everybody? I am back with another Prizepicks MLB player props video. This one going to be breaking it down, giving you guys 5 picks to get you winning some money over here on Prizepicks. As always, if you haven't checked out Prizepicks, would highly recommend you check them out, guys. It is a player props website and app where you can win money off of picking the over and under on things like player strikeouts, first inning runs allowed, first inning hits allowed, earned runs allowed, hits allowed, etc. Go ahead and use that promo code KJK DFS to receive an instant match on your first deposit up to $100 today. Again, that is code KJK DFS. Go to lock that in and get that free money offer. And if you are getting very serious, would highly recommend you check out my premium content packages. That link below in the description. Patreon.com/KJK_DFS is the site you want to visit. I do offer Prizepicks MLB. I do offer Underdog. And I did just launch the new VIP member package. If you want to get access to every single one of my picks, every single app for every single sport. I know the NFL is coming up. We have the WNBA playoffs going on right now, the MLB. So you can hop in the VIP package. You get the top priority up early, grind to find early edge oftentimes on these tickets. And you get notified before I release any of these to the public so you can lock it in before I do so. So already sent this big ticket into the VIP squad. They're going to lock it in so in case there's any bumps. As always, they can get that in. So check that out if you're interested. And if you enjoy this content, would be greatly appreciated if you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. It's free. It takes 2 seconds. It really does help me out. So thank you to every one of you that do that every video. And let's talk about it. We have a little bit of a smaller slate, a little bit of a limited options, but I've put together a 5-man ticket that I like quite a bit here. So we will break it down. Go ahead and get this page a little bit of a refresh just to make sure we got all the latest Vegas data. And we'll kick things off in the Philadelphia Phillies game. We're going to talk about the Philadelphia Phillies offense because they get to take on Luis Cessa in the Cincinnati Reds bullpen, which is not good in Philadelphia, which is a great hitting environment. Pulling up the diagram as far as Citizens Bank Park is concerned, you can see plays very friendly to hitters. Good home run hitting ballpark. Good plays pretty good in the outfield, pretty neutral, but just solid across the board in Citizens Bank Park. And we have 2 hitters at the top of this lineup that I'm going to discuss. First, we'll kick things off with the leadoff hitter with Mr. Kyle Schwarber. I like the over 8.5 hitter fantasy score for him. Gets to take on this Red squad. They have a 5.26 implied total. Luis Cessa has been not the greatest, and the Cincinnati Reds bullpen is really, really bad as well. You can see Luis Cessa, he's only got a 17.3% K overall. He's got a 10.3% swing strike rate. Ground ball, fly ball stuff's good. The hard contact stuff does look good. I will give him credit there. But he's still giving up a 500 slugging to those righties, a 369 slugging to those lefties. The K rate's really low. He's also got a bit of a walk issue to right-handed bats. So just a little bit below stellar, and I expect the Philadelphia Phillies offense to do pretty good tonight. And then, like I said, this bullpen is not good for the Cincinnati Reds, so you add in that as well. Luis Cessa, this is gonna be his first start, so they are not listing him as an opener. They are listing him as an official starter, but his leash isn't exactly going to be the longest, would be my guess. The maximum amount of pitches he's thrown this year has been right around like 24, so he's got a history of starting. You know, he might go out there for 50, 60 pitches, maybe work his way up to 80. I doubt that. I'm thinking like 50, 60, and then they have to turn it over to the bullpen. I'm thinking that's why the Philadelphia Phillies have such a high implied total. And while Luis Cessa is decent, he's still not the greatest. And then you factor in that the Cincinnati Reds have the 3rd worst bullpen in the entire league as far as xFIP. Their underlying metrics look really, really bad too. They have the worst home run per 9 metric in the entire league, so they're giving up a lot of home runs out of the bullpen. Just not a recipe for success. You look at Kyle Schwarber's numbers, he's a fantastic hitter. Against right-handed pitching, he has a 316 ISO with a 365 WOBA. That is really, really good. Wouldn't surprise me in the least to see Kyle Schwarber go deep, and he does walk a lot as well. So if he can work his way on base and the rest of the offense hits him in, that's going to be some fantasy points as well. So that's why I'm leaning fantasy. I do worry a little bit with how much he walks. About his total bases. I mean, I don't worry. I still think he hits his total bases, but that's just why I'm leaning fantasy, just to kind of be fully transparent here. Last time out, he had 2 hits and 1 walk. The time before, he had 2 hits and 1 walk as well. So, guy's been getting the job done in all facets of the game. I like the over 8.5 fantasy score for him. And then pick number 2, we're going to be going to his teammate in the 2 spot, Rhys Hoskins. Same story can be said for him. You're looking at his metrics as far as how he's faring against right-handed pitching. He's got a 210 ISO with a 330 WOBA. So I really do like Rhys Hoskins. And once again, I just expect this lineup to turn over a lot of times, them to get lots of at-bats, them to score a lot of runs. And of course, the 2 guys at the top of the lineup are going to get the most amount of at-bats, most amount of opportunity if that is the case. So pick number 2. Do like the over 8.5 hitter fantasy score for Rhys Hoskins. Once again, he's a guy that does walk quite a bit as well. So if they're going to walk them, that's not an issue. We'll allow them to get on base, rack up some fantasy points with the walk. 11.5% walk rate for Schwarber and 11% walk rate for Rhys Hoskins. So that is pretty high as far as their walk rates are concerned. Those have been our first two. And then pick number 3, we're going to be kicking on down to the Atlanta Braves, taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates. And we have a very similar story here today. We have Roansy Contreras on the bump. The other thing is he's not an opener with like a limited pitch. I mean, he's going to be in there for the game for quite a bit. But you look at Roansy Contreras' numbers. The kid's got a lot of promise. He's got pretty good swing and strike stuff. But one thing is he's giving up a lot of hard contact, a lot of fly balls. And specifically against right-handed hitting, he's giving up a 500 slugging with a 38.8% hard contact rate, a 367 WOBA. That is not good. And I think he's going to have a little bit of a problem with this Atlanta Braves offense today. And then you factor in the Pittsburgh Pirates bullpen is also dreadful. They have the second worst bullpen in the league, just a little bit worse than the Cincinnati Reds as far as xFIP is concerned. So once again, the Pittsburgh Pirates bullpen really struggling. That's all factored into the Vegas data, obviously, but Braves have a 5.29 implied total. And we have two guys at the top of the lineup once again that I want to be targeting. We'll kick things off with Ronald Acuna at the top. Hasn't shown the most amount of power against right-handed pitching on the season, but the WOBA is still looking really good. It's really solid. He's got a 336 WOBA. Do expect him to get on base, and he can steal bases as well, a ton. You're looking at the league leaders as far as stolen base. Ronald Acuna is in third currently with 25 stolen bases on the season. So once again, a guy that can get the job done in multiple ways as far as the fantasy score is concerned. So pick number 3, I will be going with the over 8.5 hitter fantasy score for Ronald Acuna Jr. Just talked about it. Contreras has given up a lot of slugging to righties. The Pittsburgh Pirates bullpen's really bad. Acuna has a lot of stolen base upside. And we're going to go with his teammate as well in the 2 spot in Dansby Swanson. Same story. Also a guy with a lot of stolen base upside. You look at Dansby Swanson as far as where he ranks on the year. He's got 16 stolen bases. He's in 15th right now in the whole league. So once again, a guy with some stolen base upside. Also really, really solid from a WOBA aspect. Hasn't had the most power. Once again, though, the Pittsburgh Pirates bullpen is terrible. So expect these guys to get some bats. They got some pretty bad arms if they get some runs on the board early, which I expect them to do. Same thing as the Philadelphia Phillies. 337 WOBA for Dansby Swanson. Really, really solid. And once again, the stolen base upside's there. So pick number 4, we're going to take the over 7.5 hitter fantasy score for Dansby Swanson. And pick number 5. We're going to be kicking it on down to the late game, the very last one. The LA Dodgers taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. And we're going to be talking about Mr. Julio Urias because he gets to take on a K-happy Milwaukee Brewers squad tonight. And he has been fantastic. You're looking at his underlying metrics. He's got a 24.4% carry overall with an 11.5% swinging strike rate. Beautiful in the hard contact category. He's got a 23% carry against righties. Really good WOBA hard contact and slugging there. And a 29.6% carry against lefties. Does have a little bit of a slugging issue against those lefties, but the K rate's really, really good, and there's only one lefty expected to be in this lineup for the Milwaukee Brewers, in Christian Yelich. Christian Yelich's numbers against lefties is not good. He does not have a lot of power against lefties. The Brewers only have a 2.96 implied total. And Julio Urias, when I'm looking at his pitching outs, is a very heavy favorite to go at least 6 innings in this one. He's a minus 160 favorite. So I think he gets the quality start. I think he gets a lot of strikeouts along the way. He's also a favorite to rack up over 6 strikeouts. So if he gets 6 strikeouts, goes 6 innings, he gets the quality start, and he gets the win, which he's expected to as a 263 favorite. Still gives him wiggle room to give up 2 earned runs and still hit the over on his fantasy score. So I do think there's a possibility he can strike out like 8 or 9 as well. We will gladly take that. The upside's certainly there. We're reading off this Milwaukee Brewers lineup as far as their K rates are concerned, starting from the bottom up as we always do with the Milwaukee lineup. Taylor strikes out 28% of the time, and then 23, 22, 46, 28, 25, 21, 28, and 24% of the time. So a lot of strikeouts, not expected to score a lot of runs. And then lastly, it is a pretty good ballpark to be pitching in as well as far as Dodger Stadium is concerned. You can see a lot of red going on for opposing hitter. It's not exactly the best hitting environment. I guess you could make an argument that the left field for right-handed batters for home runs isn't the greatest, but outside of that, pretty good. We talked about it. Urias doesn't give up a lot of hard contact. Vegas clearly indicating they don't expect the Brewers to do much, and then the Dodgers have a really good bullpen as well to hold things down if he exits the game with the league. Exits the game with the lead. The Dodgers have the second best bullpen in the league, just barely. Pretty much have the best bullpen in the league, so should be able to shut things down for him. And like I said, 263 favorite. So a lot of good things going on for Julio Urias here for pick number 5, and I do like the over 39.5 pitch fantasy score for him. That's going to be my 5 picks to get you winning some money over here on Prizepicks in the MLB today, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. If you have not checked out the premium content packages, check those out. And if you have not signed up for Prizepicks, sign up today. Use that promo code KJK DFS to receive an instant match on your first deposit up to $100. Wishing you all the best of luck on your MLB props today, guys, and we will see you in the next one.